welcome in here. A little bit of an overcast night here as we begin our nightcap game between the Red Raiders and the Omaha Haymakers. Red Raiders sitting at 6-19 on the year, 15-10 the Haymakers are. They're locked in as a 3 seed. The Red Raiders are locked into that 8 seed. They'll be playing the Filth Ballers first round. Let's take a quick look at some of the scores here from the Corn Belt League as we welcome you here to the booth. My name is Arnav Pokhrel. Joining me today is Jaden Taylor. Take a quick look at the scores from July 24th. The Haymakers starting this hot streak. They've got a lot of offense in their past 2 games. They scored 17 against the Filth Ballers earlier this week, and on the 24th we saw a 14-2 victory over the Rail Riders, as well as a 5-2 victory for the Black Sox over the Crop Dusters.
Yeah, 5-game winning streak coming into this one for the Haymakers. They are the hottest team in this league right now. And again, a game that doesn't mean too much going into postseason play, but again, momentum can be a big factor for both of these teams, trying to see which one can maybe find some momentum, maybe find a hot streak going into the postseason this upcoming Thursday.
We'll take a quick look later on in the game as well. We'll talk about some scenarios, some playoff implications here, as well as the bracket, but we'll get you here started, ready for the first pitch. Here's Ty Beasley, the shortstop for the Red Raiders.
Yeah, big swing and a miss right there going up against Caden Van Hill. Again, we mentioned just the hot streak that we've seen from this Haymakers staff. Won their past 5 games, 8 out of their last 9. And this is a group, again, that has just been very consistent after struggling a little bit at midway point of the season. Lost 5-6, and then have now come back and found their way once again. It's been mainly due to their pitching between Van Hill, who you're going to see here, Cole Warner, Jack Swellich, Connor Burris a little bit as well. They've been racking those up right there. A lot of strikeouts this season. Big strikeout there for Van Hill to start the game, working against Ty Beasley. They'll bring the center fielder, Ethan Neeson, product of Allen County Community College, number 41. Yeah, Neeson, another homegrown kid here out of Omaha, Nebraska, went to Papio High School, actually not too far away from here. Was a big product with a couple other guys that you're going to see here in this league. Papio and Papio South. You see actually Jackson Trout in the other dugout for the Haymakers. Papio South grad. Jackson Horn for the Filth Ballers, another Papio South grad, as well as Gage Ingram, who went to Papio, worked with Neeson for a couple of years as well.
That one hit into shallow left, and making the catch there is the left fielder for the Haymakers.
Yeah, Dane Small able to make that play. Again, really good start right here for Caden Van Hill. Not only is he able to blow it by guys like we saw in Ty Beasley, he's been able to figure a way to get weak contact, and he did in that fly ball to left. And mentioned Beasley after winning Hitter of the Week back in his first week after the All-Star break. He's really struggled since then. He's dropped down to an average below 200. It should be below 250. It's not quite been there for him.
Swing and a miss there for number 33, Caleb Schramm. Taking a look at Van Hill on the year, 27 innings pitched, giving up 12 earned runs. That's a 3.1 ERA. Very solid there for Caden Van Hill. Really anything under a 3.2 is pretty very good here in the Corn Belt League. So Van Hill, one of the better pitchers here for the Haymakers.
Yeah, Van Hill smiling a little bit at Schramm. Knew he was not trying to hit him on that inside. Let's see what he would do here with the 1-2.
That one fouled off, left side.
See what Schramm can do here out of the middle of the order. He's been a pretty consistent hitter the majority of the season. Really started off slowly, but these last couple of nights, he has a 7-game hitting streak coming to this one.
That one in the dirt. Are they saying he swung? And yes, he did, is the call. So down go the Red Raiders, 1-2-3 in the top of the first. Quick work for Caden Van Hill. It'll bring up top of the order for the Haymakers. Swanson, Calhoun, and Small coming up when we return. And we are back here getting ready for the bottom of the first. We'll see the Haymakers up to bat. But real quick, let's take a quick look at the current bracket. It is set now in stone here for the playoffs. Quarterfinals will take place on Thursday and Friday, and we'll have all of those games here on the Corn Belt League Network. Starting off with the 1-8 seed. Filth Ballers, the 1 seed. They've been dominating all season. They'll play against this team in front of us here, the Red Raiders. Jaden, what are you seeing in that matchup?
Yeah, again, the matchups that we've seen, the Filth Ballers have won every single one this season up against the Red Raiders. The one time that we saw a little bit of a closer game was Tanner Versalino going up against these Filth Ballers after really a blowout in the first game. It was a doubleheader about 2 weeks ago. Versalino did a really good job. We also saw a couple guys out of the bullpen struggle a little bit. Josh Ostin came in a tough spot and was not able to block down these Filth Ballers. So, I mean, again, it comes down any kind of day can be a game, right? It can really depend. Even a 1-8 spot. We saw last year a 2-7 spot. The Haymakers taking down these Red Raiders this past season when the Red Raiders are the 2 seed, the Haymakers being the 7. So, again, one night can change everything. Anything can happen. But I think it'll be interesting what these two coaching staffs will go with, right? The Filth Ballers really have just about everybody available. They haven't played since Saturday, so entirely healthy going to that one. Over the Red Raiders here, just going to be a day and a half removed from a game here up against the Haymakers. So, again, the pitching staff's going to be the odd thing to see. You also got to mention that Gabe Bratetic as well as Trevor Winterstein, 2 really impact hitters for these 2 teams, will not be available for the rest of the season for these 2. So, Bratetic been the main first and corner infielder, been the best hitter throughout this season for the Red Raiders. Trevor Winterstein's been getting the speed threat at the top of the order for the Filth Ballers. It'll come down to, again, how does the depth work out for these 2 teams later on?
That one's lifted to center field. Neeson making the catch there. First out of the day for Swanson.
Yeah, Curtis Flint. Again, that left side look that Flint's been able to use this season has worked pretty well. He's got kind of that sidearm action. A guy that's 6'5", looking just north of 6'5" this season. Again, he's a guy that will really kind of whip it around. It's kind of his body work. He's just going to whip out the side there. You saw that there. Okay, he's going to really open up a little bit, but that's really kind of how he's been able to adjust so far, is really falling off a little bit towards his front side, but his back side lags a little bit and just kind of whips it back over the front end.
This one hit into shallow right center. It's actually going to stay in the infield for the second baseman. Jacob Mayberg able to make the catch. That's 2 away here early for Curtis Flint.
Yeah, Calhoun not quite happy at that one. Chucked his bat down, and at least to the sound of it, I don't think he's going to be using that bat anymore. Definitely sounding a broken bat, but a really good job right there by Flint to, attack inside to Calhoun and get him to break up a little bit as that pop-up. Quick 2 outs here, and again, both pitchers starting off in this one pretty efficiently.
That one finds the low corner of the strike zone for 0-1.
I really like that fastball movement so far. Again, it looks more like a 2-seam. It's coming out of the hand from Flint, but again, it's really doing a good job from Flint to be able to make sure you can establish that outer half so far.
Flint sets up for the 1-1 here. We're against Dane Small, the left fielder.
Yeah, Flint's been an interesting guy this season. It's his 6th start here, but he's kind of been a guy that just gone in between 2 and 4 innings majority of his outings so far. And at times it's been due to struggles, but at times it's just been kind of the way the Red Raiders have set up their pitching staff. This past game, went up against the Crop Duster, just allowed 1 single hit, had a no-hitter through 3 and a little bit more of an inning. Was pulled after the 4th after 3 walks. Did also have 3 strikeouts, but his last 2 outings have been really efficient. Just 2 hits in his last 2 outings for Flint. Really outside of the June 30th game against the Black Sox, where he gave up 4 earned runs. And Flint's been pretty consistent this season, and a good guy that's worked both out of the bullpen as well as a starter. He's worked in an under 4 ERA at 3.71. But definitely could see some improvement there, but he's definitely been good enough to be a solid guy out of this pen, or out of this rotation for the Red Raiders.
That one's away for a full count here against Small. And another foul ball there. Staying alive is Dane Small. Second consecutive foul ball there.
Yeah, sawed him off a little there was Flint. And even with the 3-2 pitch here, again, a guy in the middle of the order is Small, who's, I want to say, struggled as late, but definitely did not have the same pop that he had at the start of the season. Definitely want to make sure you don't give too much over the heart of the plate if you're Flint.
That one up the gap. Will it get through? Yes, it will. It'll head over to the center fielder, Ethan Neeson. So Small will head to first on the single.
Yeah, good 2-out hit right there for Small. Again, a 3-2 pitch fastball. Hung up a little bit too much into the zone, but really good job by Small just to be able to find the barrel, put it back right where it came from. Now maybe something going here for the Haymakers with 2 gone here in the first. Small does have some speed. We'll see, especially with the lefty and Flint, how cautious they'll keep with Small over there at first.
I'll bring up Carter Borkman, 8 for 37 on the year, 216 on the average, 9 runs scored, 3 RBIs. First pitch in there from Flint for a strike.
I think it'll be interesting here. Again, want to see definitely a little bit of darker night here for 8 p.m. with the clouds coming in. It seems like a little bit of a system is coming through Omaha and where we're at currently. And I think we'll keep updates on how long we're to keep going through this one, as Flint misses wild on that one.
Makes contact with Borkman, so he'll head to first. That'll push Dane Small to second. Now a chance here, especially with that speed you mentioned with Dane Small, a chance here for a double steal opportunity, push both runners into scoring position for Doty.
Flint really upset with himself right there after a really strong start to the inning with a couple of pieces of weak contact. He's now really fallen behind, hasn't been able to find his consistency in the zone, and seems a little bit frustrated here. But I think I really like the move by Schramm to go out and talk to him a little bit. This is the time, again, to calm yourself down a little bit. Frustrating start to an extent, but if we get one more out and keep this game knotted up at 0, there's really no damage done, and you can really feel like nothing's really gone through here this inning. See if Flint can kind of wipe the slate clean here, trying to get a big out up against Jackson Doty, who's been one of the more consistent hitters for the Haymakers this season.
On the year, Doty is 13 for 37, 9 singles, 2 doubles, 1 triple as well, 11 RBIs. That's 351.
Again, that 11 RBI is the biggest thing. He's been the biggest average guy. A lot of times you'll see kind of the best average guy at the 1-2 spot, but Doty working at a 4 or 5 something the majority of this season. Had him as our impact player last time we saw these Haymakers. But again, Doty's been a guy that just, to me, again, that lefty swing is something that just almost always looks so beautiful when you can really see it go through the zone. And Doty's a guy that just has a beautiful swing, really a violent swing as well.
Just like you mentioned, usually the highest average guys are up there in the 1-2 hole for batting, but that guy with the highest batting average here for the Haymakers, Alec Villanueva, hitting .395 on the years in the 6 hole. So we'll see him next year if they can get past Doty.
And Villanueva, like, we talk about Doty being the number 1 for the majority of the year. Villanueva has just, I'm not sure what it is, but it has absolutely gone off these last couple of weeks.
That one a ripped foul. Yeah, so you've got Villanueva in the 6 hole as the leading in batting average here for the Haymakers. And Doty's 3rd on the Haymakers in batting average, and he's in the 5 spot. So a little bit of movement here, balancing out the lineup for the Haymakers.
Again, Doty, Swanson, Villanueva, the 3 best guys, and they've gotten hot recently. That's been one of the biggest pieces. We talk about just the incredible offense, 32 runs scored in a matter of just a couple days for the Haymakers. They've just found a streak, and seems the barrel has just been able to find so many balls this season.
Talking about Flint here, coming into today, 17 innings pitched, giving up 9 earned runs, so 3.7 ERA there for number 99. That one hit up the gap to the shortstop. And the play is made there by the shortstop, Ty Beasley. That'll be the end of the first inning. No runs on 1 hit for the Haymakers. For the Red Raiders, it'll bring up Dalton Nelson, TJ Swaney, and Ryan Vermeer. Take a quick look here at Vermeer when we get back. He's going to be our impact player for the Red Raiders. We'll talk about him more after the break. we are back here, top of the second. Dalton Nelson, the left fielder, up for the Red Raiders. Nelson on the year batting 14 for 58, 241.
A guy that's gotten a little more action of late this past week at a really good game up against the Crop Dusters. 3 singles and 2 RBI on July 23rd. So a guy, again, that's been somewhat more hot as of recent. And honestly, actually playing with a guy for one game. And there's really nothing but good things to hear about Nelson. A really good class act type of guy. Kind of calm presence he brings a lot of times to the dugout. Because really consistent swing, and he's been able to show it off recently. Struggled off the start of the season. With really just his only really big impact game was a single and a home run up against the Filth Ballers on June 13th. But this past week kind of been a different story. A 3-hit game, like I mentioned, against the Crop Dusters, and 2 hits and an RBI up against the Crop Dusters and Rail Riders the 2 days before on July 21st and July 22nd.
That one lifted towards the backstop. Head out of play here.
Yeah, Go fans teasing some other fans trying to get out of the way to that ball. Really a fun night here. Pretty good crowd, especially here for the last night of the season, regular season, excuse me. And we talked about it, the postseason is looming. We're just 2 days away from postseason action. 2 quarterfinals on Thursday, another 2 quarterfinal action games on Friday, semifinals Saturday, and then we ended off on New Channel, Nebraska on Sunday, 7 p.m. first pitch in our championship game here in 2022. Again, I think since day one we've known that the Filth Ballers would kind of be the team to beat for a lot of different groups, and they've stayed that way. They're turning champions and regular season champions this year. But again, I think this game right here, personally for me, again, doesn't have a ton of impact on what the postseason outcome is going to be. But I feel that if the Haymakers can find a way to get a good win here, find a way to get a good win up against a team that's just really trying to find its way out of a really big slump in the Red Raiders, I think you really got to say the Haymakers are the team to possibly take down the Filth Ballers.
Especially being on the flip side of the bracket there on that 3 side. Got a little bit easier of a path there. Do the Filth Ballers. The Haymakers, if they were to scratch out, as there's a hit up the middle to the center fielder, Chris Calhoun. So it'll advance Nelson to second, and Swaney will head to first. It'll bring up the designated hitter, Ryan Vermeer. He's our impact player for today. Take a quick look at his stats over here. Hitting .357. .419 slugging percentage as well, 6 RBIs, and just in this past week, he's hitting .500 with 7 singles, a double, and 6 RBIs, as well as drawing 2 walks. And Vermeer takes a first pitch deep to center, tracking back is Calhoun and making the catch for the first out of the inning.
Again, although not a big piece of the scorebook there for Vermeer, but a really good piece of contact. I think that's what we've really seen from Vermeer to these last couple of games, now boosting his average up to a .357 average. Just a week and a half ago, it was down to .214 as a group this season. So, again, what a flip these last couple of weeks for him. A 4-hit game against the Crop Dusters, and then has hit in, I believe if I'm correct, 7 of his last 8 games.
Big swing and a miss there from number 29, Jacob Aberg.
Aberg is truly the definition of a utility man. He's been able to play all across the field. This guy with a lot of speed. Played second, played outfield a little bit.
He's also pitched a little bit this year, Aberg has. 9 innings in 7 appearances, so 4.6 ERA for him as well. So proving a little bit of a rotational arm there is Aberg. Good pitch on the inside half there from Van Hill.
I want to see what Van Hill's going to do here on the 1-2. I think you really don't want to give too much to Aberg here. Try to lean on your off speed that you're most confident in. I think a little bit more of a conversation. I think they might be talking here. I think maybe Nelson might be trying to give the signs towards Aberg. And again, this is a time, and some people know this, if you played baseball the majority of the time, you're going to know this. how you're going to work with your catcher is going to be different when a guy's on first, a guy's on second, bases loaded, etc. Right? A lot of times when you're trying to see a guy out there at second, right, you're trying to make sure that they don't have an easy way just to see whatever sign's coming at you. So a lot of times you'll say, okay, second, third sign. A catcher will put down 3 different signs, and then depending upon the inning or depending upon the out scenario, whatever it is, whichever one of those 3 or 4 will be the actual sign, and the other 2s will just be fakes.
That one fouled back, and there is some lightning real close right there. The ump steps back, takes a look, and a little bit of a conversation here, but I mean that one was probably 1 mile away, not even. That one's way inside. Runners will advance. So you got Nelson on third, Swaney on second. And starting to rain here as well at JJ Isaacson Field.
I don't know what it is, but I don't think the baseball gods like us doing Haymakers and Red Raiders games. We've had two makeups. We've had 2 rainouts of these 2 teams already this season. This is a makeup of a makeup.
There's also something about these Tuesday night games. Both of our first
Tuesday.
2 Tuesday nights got canceled.
Well, the late game, the 8 p.m. game, every 8 p.m. game is just not where it's at.
There's a catch there at Calhoun. And Calhoun cans it to home, holding the runner at third. Great play there from Chris Calhoun. That's not one that goes in the score sheet, but it's really important to holding them, the Red Raiders, to 0 runs.
What a strong throw right there out in center from Calhoun. Again, not too speedy of a guy over there at third and Dalton Nelson. So a really good job of kind of setting yourself up. A lot of center fielders, again, you could set yourself up just to make that play still standard, but really good job right there from Calhoun to maybe get behind that ball a little bit to be able to make sure he can keep his momentum forward as he tries to make that play.
There's a strike. And another bright flash of lightning here, but play still continues.
That'll be the umpire's discretion of when they're going to try to call this game.
Swing and a miss there on a pass ball. Not coming home there is Dalton Nelson.
Yeah, Nelson, I don't think that got too far away from Tyler Merkel there, but kind of an odd setup right there. Merkel, I don't think quite saw that ball set up there. I think the weather really starting to play a factor here, starting to sprinkle a little bit harder. The wind's getting a little bigger.
Wind's picking up. You can hear it through the crowd mics here as that pitch is up and in. 1-2.
Thank goodness for ponchos.
Poncho's really saving our camera equipment out there.
Shout out Walmart.
There's a swing and a miss. That'll be the end of the top of the second inning for the Red Raiders. No runs. 1 hit there for the Red Raiders. We'll head to the bottom of the second, trying to fight this weather here in Omaha. We'll be back after the break. And a quick little update here. Due to some inclement weather, currently we are in a postponement. You see the players start to head off the field here. You can hear the thunderstorms in the background. Sitting at a 0-0 ball game between the Red Raiders and the Haymakers. This is a game that's been canceled before, and Omaha just does not want this game to be played. We'll take a postponement break here. We'll continue to update you guys as the night continues, see if we're going to get this one at least through 5, see what happens with the Omaha weather. We want to thank you guys for tuning in right now, and reminder to stay here, stay tuned for what comes next here in Omaha. And we are back here with some unfortunate news for you. Unfortunately, due to these weather conditions outside, for the third time this season, the Red Raiders Haymakers game is called off, and that will conclude the regular season here in the Corn Belt League. And what a great regular season it's been. For myself in the broadcast booth, along with Jaden Taylor, I want to thank you guys for listening in. I want to remind you that we will have playoff baseball here. The quarterfinals coming up, 4 games, 2 on Thursday, 2 on Friday on this network, as well as the semifinal games, both of those games on Saturday. We'll be covering all 6 of those games from here at Seymour Smith Park. We want to thank you guys for tuning in. Once again, my name is Arnav Pokhrel, joined by Jaden Taylor and the rest of the Corn Belt League broadcasting crew. I want to thank you guys for tuning in and wish you guys a great night.